So ChatGPT uses natural language processing, but how exactly does it do that? How has it been trained? Well, it takes two things that you're probably very familiar with. One of them is called predictive text. If you've been in Google, Gmail in the last 10 years, you'll notice that you have to turn off predictive text. Google will try to predict the next word you're going to type in a sentence, maybe even the next phrase, even sometimes completing the entire sentence. And it'll do this in all of the Google suite, Gmail, Google Docs, all of these different places use predictive text. Google has been trained enough that it knows that when some people type this word, the word that follows it might be this. It also learns based on words you've used before that when you type this word, oftentimes the next word or phrase is this. It will even use past emails. I'm sure that if you use Gmail, you've noticed now that occasionally it'll say, hey, you haven't responded to this email, it was sent 5 days ago. If you then respond to that email, a lot of the predictive text will use words from the first email. It knows what you're talking about. It doesn't know what you're talking about, but it knows the words you're going to use. This also happens on iPhones. Most people turn off predictive text in their text messages, but you'll constantly see the next word it thinks you're going to use, and that's called predictive text. The second thing is one of the great advantages and disadvantages of the modern world, and that's algorithms. Algorithms take what you've done and try to feed what you're going to do next. We're very familiar with these on social media. If you have Instagram, there's constantly an idea of you've watched this type of video before, you're probably going to want this type of video. And it happens without you knowing it. That's what's automatically in your feed. We're very familiar with algorithms dealing with advertising. Facebook, this is how they make a majority of their money. It takes all of the things that you've looked at, all of the things that you've clicked at, all of the things and how long you've clicked on them and viewed them, and then it feeds you advertisements to buy things based on what you've done in the past. I constantly around this time of year, if I'm on Facebook or Instagram, I'm getting advertisements for gardening things because Facebook and Instagram, their algorithms know that in a month, I'm going to start planting my seeds that I'm going to put in a garden. And it's because in the past, I've looked at websites about buying seeds at this time of year. I've watched Instagram Reels about when to plant things. I've looked up things about tomatoes. I've done all these things. And so the algorithms say, this is what he wants. This is what he's expecting. When you take those two things and put them together, predictive text and algorithms, that's how you get ChatGPT. ChatGPT took an enormous data set, and I'll talk about that in my next video. It took an enormous data set and it analyzed this data set so that it can now predict that if somebody types in the word peanut butter and 75% of the time, the next word is going to be jelly. And so as it answers, it is using that data that peanut butter and jelly tend to go together. Unless you happen to have done a search that involved the word Elvis. Then it knows based on all of these billions of data sets that most times if you type in something about Elvis and peanut butter, your next word will be banana. So not only does it take what it already knows, but it takes what is out there that it is predicting based on all of the responses of people, all of the responses of data sets over huge amounts of time, over huge amounts of data. It's almost incomprehensible how much data it has, but it's taking two very familiar AI concepts, predictive text and algorithms, and it's putting them together to produce the best possible answer to any question or statement you make.